Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
There's always just that attitude when like defenders, I think, is like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
People, what a transfer window we've had already. And what I mean by that is, you know, you just look at the footballing world, the deals that haven't happened, and many U-turns and stuff, and we're just in June, approaching July. So this is the calm before the storm. People deluded, I'm back again. If you're like myself in the United Kingdom, then good morning. Anyone else around the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. I'm sure you've all seen the video I've dropped earlier on my YouTube channel. Check that out. Declan Rice, Arsenal. I know we're all tired of it, people. You know, he wants to sign for Arsenal. Arteta wants him. Arsenal are showing intent. West Ham will let him go when they get the portion of their deal, whatever, you know, the bulk payments guaranteed by 2025. We've been here, people. You know, we're going over the same things. But allegedly, Manchester City have pulled out of the bid. Now, I rate City if they have, because City, one thing I like about them is just because you have money doesn't mean you just spend money and do silly things. Not saying Declan Rice, you know, it's silly. Do I think 105 million for Declan Rice or 100 odd million is absurd for Declan Rice? Of course I do. I don't think he's quite that player in general, but with the way the market's been in the last 10 or so years, with some of the big, you know, players that have gone for similar fees or similar fees around that haven't done what Declan Rice has done in the game. And what I mean by that is be a fairly household name within the Premier League for club and country, playing over 200 times for West Ham. Obviously, you know, making X amount of Premier League appearances and so on and so forth, and being a captain. I think he would be worth it in years to come. At 24 years of age, you know, what we could do with him, how he could tie into what Arsenal are doing collectively and individually. I've seen us spend worse in it, so it is what it is. I'm keen to see, you know, him play as a six, probably play that John Stones role, maybe even filling that centre half occasionally throughout his Arsenal career. And this is the top target, so Arsenal have to get it done, really and truly. I don't know what the contingency plans would be, but this is what Mikel Arteta wanted to make it happen, really and truly. You know, Declan Rice, the best thing he can do if and when, again, big if he signs for Arsenal, is just play well. Nobody cares about the price tag when you play well. City have shown with Maguire, with Alexis Sanchez, with Jorginho, with several players, you know, that they've gone for, that they will move away if they don't think the player is quite the right fit or if things are unrealistic. We can't rule out Manchester City going in with another bid. But at this moment in time, breaking news, the Daily Mail said Man City pull out of the race for Declan Rice after refusing to match Arsenal's £105 million bid, which has not been accepted, as West Ham hold talks with the Gunners this morning. So maybe by the evening, there'll be another update. I mean, Declan Rice would be worth more to Arsenal than City. And what I mean by that is, you know, he'd be a great player for City. When we think of Manchester City currently, you think of the departed Gundogan. You still somewhat think of Cancelo, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, you know, people of that ilk. One day they're not going to be there. You've got Jack Grealish, who's like 27, 28. You've got Phil Foden, who's in his early 20s. You know, you've got Haaland, assuming Real Madrid don't buy him anytime soon, who's there for the foreseeable future. Declan Rice would tie in with that. Declan Rice would win a lot of trophies, learn a lot of stuff under Pep Guardiola, another player that Pep could flirt with and do what he needs to do. Clearly better than Calvin Phillips. But he'd obviously, because we're not Man City, he'd have a bigger impact at Arsenal. He'd be more of a talisman than Arsenal. City need him less than us. They've got Rodri there and other things. We don't have a six like that. We've got Partey, who's contracted until 2025. We don't know if there's going to be new deals over that. Obviously, you know, there's rumors that he won't be given a new deal and he's been linked with moves away from the football club. The same goes with Granit Xhaka. You know, he's more likely to play a talisman figure sort of role at the club. He's going to play week in, week out. He's got physicality that we're lacking in midfield. We still got a lot of things to do. So make it happen. Manchester City have pulled out of the race to sign West Ham star Declan Rice after Arsenal's British record £105 million bid. City had submitted an offer of 80 million guaranteed cash plus 10 million in add-ons, which was rejected by West Ham. Now, to be fair, playing devil's advocate, it's just funny how the media report things, because that's not seen as lowballing from City. Why was that £90 million offer seen as low balling from Arsenal? What Arsenal and City deem Declan Rice's worth and what West Ham deem his worth are two different things. I think West Ham have done superbly. They've played the interest from both teams off, mainly Arsenal getting cold feet, and they're getting a good fee. I'm sure everybody concerned, Declan Rice, Arsenal, West Ham, and City, everybody just probably wants a resolution to this so they can move on. It's going a bit far, really. Again, City will not be matching it. That doesn't mean they won't provide a competitive offer, but yeah, everybody's now saying that Man City will not match that. Manchester City will not match Arsenal's bid for Declan Rice. Decision made as they are set to pull out of the race at the current conditions. Arsenal were very confident last night and they remain very confident today, working on a structure from West Ham. With West Ham, apologies. Manchester City to leave Declan Rice as internal discussion took place today after Arsenal's record bid submitted on Tuesday. City have no intention to enter into a bidding war. As always, no plans to match the proposal. And they also showed this with Fred as well. They'll move away. And I'm sure they've got other targets. Declan Rice's position may be a priority, but it may not be. It's a priority for Arsenal. Them man have Rodri. Declan Rice would be another jewel in the crown. He would be one of the waviest things in our possession. Again, apparently Arsenal are working on the structure of the deal after 100 million plus 5 million add-ons. Official offer submitted on Tuesday night for Declan Rice. Arsenal and West Ham are in contact to discuss payment terms, installments, and more details. Manchester City have left the race, people. Carrying on with that, yesterday, as you saw, allegedly, Arsenal made an improved bid worth up to 105 million for West Ham United's Declan Rice. The offer, which Arsenal hope will fend off City, which, based on reports today, maybe comprises of an initial fee of 100 million and an extra 5 million in add-ons. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts. Now, again, in business, I wouldn't say lowballing is the right term, but it doesn't mean, this was probably Arsenal were prepared to go to the 100 odd million region, and we thought it could be done for less. There was talk of a verbal agreement, which verbal doesn't mean anything in business, of 80 million. Now, I don't know if the fact that City have come in, the fact that Arsenal have dragged their heels, the fact of other deals, Caicedo fees and stuff like that. Even the fact that West Ham won the Conference League, I don't know if they've said, extra 20 odd million quid, but it does feel like City's bid was enough to trigger a reaction from Arsenal. And you do wonder, why didn't we just kind of put this down or something similar to that early doors, really and truly? But maybe that's because Arsenal have done their homework with Declan Rice. They're relying on him to say he wants Arsenal and only Arsenal. We knew that we'd probably get over the line. Again, until you see people holding shirts, anything is up for debate, and there could be many twists and turns, bumps and bruises. So yeah, once again, people, we've made a third bid, apparently of 100 million plus 5 million in performance-related add-ons. He would be our top earner. He would be one of our top earners. He would be our highest signing. Apparently, he's our primary target this summer, and we're his favorite destination right now, people. Again, apparently West Ham value him at 120 million. It is getting a bit absurd. Because if City walk away, if Arsenal walk away, yeah, another team might come in, but his contract is running down. He's been linked with Bayern Munich. Not that he wants to go there, but he could agree a deal for free in January. And you'd have egg on your face. So at some point, pardon my language, West Ham, they're within their rights to want top money, but they're taking a piss a bit now. Sky Sports have been told Arsenal will have to negotiate the structure of their new record-breaking deal for Rice. It's thought West Ham want the guaranteed fee paid up front in a shorter time frame. Within their rights to do that, people. And obviously, provided that did happen, he'd be just in front of Jack Grealish and just behind Jude Bellingham for most expensive English players. And as you can see there, people, you've got Harry Maguire to Man United and Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. Also, biggest fee paid by English club. Bare things going on. And he would be our record I keep saying top goal scorer, our record transfer signing. He would be at the top. Pepe would be second. I mean, ironically, none of them have really worked out, and I'm probably exaggerating. Declan Rice, I've got confidence if we sign him, it will work out. Pepe did not bang. Lacazette, we're signing him for 52 million, and we're talking about working hard. Good player, never worth the fee. I did a video on that, and I was proved right. Benjamin White, English tax, he's doing his job. Nobody cares. Partey's been a good player, but he hasn't been a great player. And Jesus has been a breath of fresh air. Declan Rice is ready to leave the football club, people. Apparently, he had a gentleman's agreement. So at what point is Declan Rice going to get peed off? Again, verbal agreements, gentleman's agreements in life, but much less in business. People go against their word. It means nothing. And I'm sure Declan Rice wants to leave the proper way, winning trophies, not damaging any relations. But if you did have a gentleman's agreement and you keep playing hardball, it's going to get jarring. And what a fairy tale way to leave. First you know, captain the club, you know, to a trophy in 58 years or something like that. That's crazy. And what I like about Declan Rice is he immerses himself in all fragments of the club. When West Ham's under 18s beat Arsenal's under 18s at the Emirates, he was there, people. Allegedly, he played 50 games in all comps last season, people. He's played more than 200 times for West Ham and currently has 41 caps for England at 24. So, yeah, in an ideal world, of course, you'd want to spend 50, 60 on Declan Rice, but he's not the first and he won't be the last player. What players are worth is subjective now. Everybody knows everybody's got money, and potential's the biggest buzzword, really. You know, Vinicius Jr. now is doing what he needs to do at Real Madrid. But Real Madrid, when he first signed, Benzema weren't even rocking with him. You know, Kylian Mbappe weren't worth the fee that PSG played initially. It's in times to come, really. Benjamin White, off the back of one Premier League season at Arsenal, the Jadon Sancho fee, the Anthony fee, several of them, really. You know, Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, all of that sort of stuff. Bit different because his release clause was triggered. But this is the game now, really. In an ideal world, Rice should be 50, 60 million, but he can't control that. And it's either you adapt to what's going on or you find cheaper alternatives or you complain. Arsenal told to improve £105 million bid for West Ham's Declan Rice as they stand firm on their offer. Apparently, they're still unhappy with the structure of the deal, people, which apparently we're in talks to pattern that up, people. Understand West Ham have not accepted the bid as they are unhappy with the payment structure, which they feel is spread over too many years. Arsenal will now look to find a compromise to get a deal over the line for the England international. We've had two bids turned down. Hopefully it's third time lucky. City's bid is also rejected on Tuesday. You know, Mikel Arteta can rest easy in that allegedly Declan Rice is our initial preference of club to move to, but the chance to turn to work and learn and under Pep Guardiola and win things at City might be too good to turn down. Once again, West Ham want the guaranteed portion of Declan Rice fee paid by the start of 2025, preferably in 2 installments. It's understood Arsenal want to pay the fee which exceeds West Ham's 100 million valuation of the player over a 5-year period. West Ham have not immediately accepted Arsenal's 105 million offer for Declan Rice, with well-placed sources indicating that negotiations are continuing mainly over the structure of the deal. So maybe there's a willingness to get things done, people, if we have that now, really and truly. Let's see what's going on here. Again, United remain keen. It appears that Manchester City are now out of the race, really and truly. So, yeah, they've not immediately accepted, and they've technically rejected it, but it seems negotiations continue, people. So hopefully we get there. The offer has not been accepted, with well-placed sources indicating that negotiations are continuing mainly over the structure of the deal. And Mikel Arteta's side are now the front runners. Again, we know about the portion of the fee they want up front. It's understood Arsenal want to pay the fee over a 5-year structure. Talks over reaching a middle ground with regards to the structure of the deal will continue on Wednesday morning today, with Arsenal desperate to reach an agreement as they seek to clinch Rice's capture. And obviously, we've all seen the leaks. Kai Havertz deal is somewhat done. Hopefully, we can get Timber over the line and in an ideal world, make some significant progress over Declan Rice so that we can focus on outgoings and any other areas that Mikel Arteta wants to address. Man United tried to get into the race, but they're offering McTominay and Maguire. I don't think West Ham are trying to aid that, really and truly. And again, Arsenal near Rice deal after third bid, says ESPN. Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal with West Ham United, people, at the third time of asking for 100 odd million. Apparently remain in negotiations. Once again, West Ham want the fees up front. We've agreed personal terms. So, yeah, it doesn't really shed anything light there. Yeah, Man United's spending limited by FFP cap. Wait, crazy. Apparently, we've made good progress on Timber, says Sky Sports, really, for the 22-year-old. Until we get that one over the line, I'm not really entertaining it, but it does seem like it will be done. So, yeah, primarily focused on Declan Rice. Romano said last night, there are still things to discuss / clarify between Arsenal and West Ham over payment terms / deal structure after bid submitted for Declan Rice. But Arsenal are very confident now, despite West Ham waiting for City. Arsenal feel small changes to the 105 million bid can make it happen. Jacob Steinberg, I believe, of The Guardian, has said West Ham are waiting to see what Manchester City bid this morning. Apparently, they've walked away, which probably by the time I get this video out for you, there's a new twist. Talks ongoing with Arsenal over the structure of the bid. Size of the offer, fine, but all about the payment terms. It's just about Arsenal's to lose. West Ham have not accepted Arsenal's latest offer. They are not happy with the payment structure proposed. Talks are ongoing. Offer itself not rejected out of hand. And West Ham are expecting City to bid tomorrow, which is today. There's also some suggestions that we may need to go to 110 million. And for a player that's got a year left on his deal, Someone that was initially released by Chelsea at 24 years of age. You've seen him win a trophy for you lot, play over 200 times, get capped by his country, 100 million with a year left on his deal, or 100 odd. West Ham have, it's a good offer, really and truly. Apparently, Arsenal's latest bid for Declan Rice has been rejected over the period of installments. However, an agreement isn't far apart. A year or so difference on the structure. It could be accepted with some negotiations. So let's see what's going on. Romano has said Arsenal feels small changes to our bid could get this over the line, people. At this point, I'll be repeating the same things. Ben Jacobs has pretty much said, echoing the same thing. West Ham and Arsenal know Rice wants to move. This has been clear even before the opening bid was placed. Always been about Arsenal and West Ham agreeing a package. Only thing that will change is if City blow Arsenal out of the water, which I can't rule out another twist, people. And obviously, apparently, it's totally normal for West Ham to haggle over parts, especially with the leverage of another potential City counter. And knowing Rice is such a priority for Arsenal, but Arsenal are optimistic this bid will prove the framework of an agreement. Again, Dharma Sheffer said Arsenal may need to negotiate the structure of their of their record-breaking offer for Declan Rice. It's thought West Ham want the guaranteed fee paid up front in a shorter time. Total amount is not expected to be a problem. Fair enough, people. So, yeah, at this point, we'll be saying the same things, people. Allegedly, West Ham still have reservations about the deal, but it's getting nearer. Arteta has played a central figure. Again, check out the rest of the content, people, because I've kind of gone over this. Apparently, Kai Havertz is an Arsenal player. All documents were signed on Monday after the medical on the weekend. He's an Arsenal player. There will be a club statement soon. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen it leaked online. You know, I don't know who did it at Arsenal, but they pressed the button of his interviews and stuff. It's on the Arsenal app, really. So, yeah, at this point, it is what it is. Again, we'll be repeating the same Declan Rice stuff, people. So I don't want to keep going over the same things with you lot. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Again, it looks like Arteta may just get his man, really. But whether it happens is another thing. Apparently, Arsenal sporting director Edu is ready to rekindle his bid to sign João Cancelo at the Emirates Stadium. People will have to see. Arsenal won't stand in Rob Holding's way if he does want to depart the club, although there's apparently no offers on the table, people. To be clear, I think that if he wants to leave this summer, then I don't think Arsenal will stand in his way at all. I think he can go and do that. Apparently, he's received an offer from Turkey. Some say it's a loan. Some people actually say an offer is wide of the mark. Marseille have been linked with Balogun. So that's Marseille, Inter, AC, Napoli, Juventus, West Ham, Brentford, Everton, a bunch of clubs. You know, all the clubs are interested. Whether they table bids for Balogun, who knows, really. Apparently, they're considering a move for him. Having got Saliba on loan, Tavares on loan, and a couple of Arsenal players, maybe we'll deal with them. Guendouzi as well, maybe we'll deal with them. I don't know if Marseille have the finances to probably give us what we want. Some reports say we want 35 to 40 million. Some go as far as to say we want 50 million for Balogun, really. And you've seen a bunch of under-21s leave. Farewell to Nicolas Moller, who's gone to FC St. Gallen on a permanent deal. I do suspect we'll bring in a couple of under-21 players. Mziza Gongbo has left and joined League 2 side Barrow FC. Probably wasn't going to make the grade. Didn't have the best of loan spells at Crawley Town, but wish him all the best. Catalin Surgeon has gone back to Romania and signed for FC Rapid Bucharest on loan. Allegedly, there's an option to buy. Has had a terrible time with injuries. Charlie Patino could be departing the club as well. You'd imagine Mika Beref and people of that, they might leave permanently. Nathan Butler-Adeji, Mika Beref, Tyrese John-Jules. There's a bunch of players that probably will leave on loan or leave permanently. Brooke Norton-Cuffy, especially if you sign, if you get Timber over the line, you've got 40, 50 odd £million Timber. Tomiyasu, who costs about 20, 30. Benjamin White, who costs 50 million, all in front of you, really and truly. So the path, and if he was to sign Cancelo, it looks like the pathway isn't quite there. So yeah, shout out to the young players. We wish them all the best. Please, people, let me know your thoughts on actually Balogun, the young players, this whole Declan Rice stuff, Cancelo business. Where do you think it's turning? Any other news, talking points? I'll be, active. It's now time to get some breakfast. I probably will go live at some point to discuss this Declan Rice stuff with you lot at greater lengths. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, check out the rest of the content. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like